Jude Bellingham is undoubtedly one of the best midfielders, but what makes him so great? Today, we will explain every touch taken in his incredible game against Napoli. You can see here in his first touch, he has space ahead of him, so Bellingham is going to drive into that space. Now as he cuts the ball back, you can see the amount of space here. So as this teammate makes a run into that space, Bellingham is going to play the ball into him in that space. Here as Bellingham has played the ball, you can see how he holds onto the ball for a bit. This causes the three opponents to close down upon him, leaving this teammate in space. Now Bellingham must flick the ball up in the air as otherwise it will be blocked by these opponents. Here Bellingham receives the ball from this side of the pitch. As you can see, this side is tight, and the space is here on the other side of the pitch, so Bellingham passes the ball out here to this teammate on the other side. Here as the ball is played into Bellingham, you can see this player starting to make a run in behind the defense. Since this fullback has to step up to put pressure on Bellingham, it leaves this teammate making the run in space for Bellingham to play the ball into. Here Bellingham is defending an opponent. Here he is covering the side of the opponent so that he cannot cut the ball back, while this teammate marks this side. Here as the ball comes into Bellingham, you can see how he has pressure coming from this side. So he is going to open up in this direction, and then take his touch again in this direction away from his opponent before playing the ball out wide. Here this ball is headed out to Bellingham. Now since he is within shooting range, he is going to take a volley first time, as this gives the goalkeeper the least amount of time to react. As Bellingham has played the ball out wide, you can see he has space ahead of him to drive into. Now as he notices the striker checking in, Bellingham is going to play the ball into him. Here as the ball comes into Bellingham, you can see how the opposition defense is set. There is no point in trying to force the attack, so Bellingham is going to play the ball back into the midfield. Here the ball is going to be played back to this opponent. Now Bellingham anticipates this, so as the ball is played, Bellingham gets a touch on the ball and drives inside to drag this opponent in, before playing the ball wide to his teammate to finish. Here is a replay of the goal. If you are enjoying the video so far, please subscribe to receive more similar content. Here as the ball is played into Bellingham, you can see this opponent come in this direction. So Bellingham is going to take his touch in this direction against this opponent's momentum. Now you can see as Bellingham dribbles, he dribbles inside, blocking off this opponent behind him. Now as he begins to be closed down, he attempts to play the ball out wide to his teammate but doesn't put enough pace on the pass. Here as Bellingham receives the ball, you can see this opponent running in this direction. Hence Bellingham is going to take his touch against his momentum in this opposite direction. Now, as there is no clear pass forward, Bellingham is going to play the ball back to the defense. Here as the ball comes into Bellingham, you can see this opponent beginning to close him down. Bellingham is going to take his touch here, in front of this opponent, so that the only way he can get the ball is by fouling him. Now here you can see as he continues dribbling forward, he has three players beginning to close him down. As he approaches this defender, he waits until the defender has stepped into the tackle before taking his touch through his legs, and is then able to shoot and score a goal. Here you can see Bellingham is going to receive the ball. You can see the opposition sitting deep, meaning he has space when the ball comes into him, so he is able to open up. Now Bellingham looks up and plays the ball forward, but as that player is closed down, Bellingham receives the ball back. Now you can see the player out wide in space, so Bellingham is going to play the ball out wide. Here as the ball comes into Bellingham in the air, you can see the space he has ahead for him to take his touch into. Now as the winger makes a run in behind the defense, Bellingham plays the ball in through the channel for the winger to run into. Here, Bellingham receives the ball and has space to open up and drive forward. Now as this opponent closes him in from this side, it leaves space on the opposite side behind. So Bellingham is going to play the ball into the striker and make a run into that space to receive the ball back. However, this opponent tracks his run well and blocks off the passing option. Here, you can see that this opponent is going to play the ball out wide to his teammate. Bellingham anticipates the pass and is able to intercept the ball and regain possession for his team. Here as Bellingham takes the ball down, you can see the space in ahead of him for him to drive into. Now as you can see, the space is here, so Bellingham is going to play the ball into the striker and then run in here to try receive the ball back. Here as the ball comes into Bellingham, you can see that he has space. Now Bellingham is going to want to receive the ball so that he can face forward, so he has to adjust his body position. Now he can pick up his head and play the ball into the midfielder checking in. Now as he receives the ball back, he is going to play the ball out wide before receiving the ball back. This is to move around the opposition so that when a gap occurs they can go forward without having to force the attack. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to subscribe for more analysis videos. If you have anyone in particular that you want me to analyze, please let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like and share this video too. Check out these other videos on the channel here. See you next time.